Peace up to the tribe, wherever you guys might be in the world. Welcome back. Top of the day, good afternoon, and good evening. I pray that you guys are intact. I know there's a blistering winter storm across half of America right now. I pray that you guys are tucked in and you're doing well. But you know, it's about 87, 88 degrees where I'm at. You know, just a little information for the tribe. Today we got a good one. I'm trying to figure some things out. I don't know what's going on. You know, I pop open the laptop today and I see one of the top leaders in the FBA movement in Africa. I'm trying to figure it out. If you guys can weigh in today, I will be more than happy to listen to you guys. I really am lost for words. I am baffled. I am flabbergasted. And I just need some answer. Like, I'm literally scrolling down, right? I'm scrolling down YouTube and you see nothing but Tariq Nasheed, Tariq Nasheed, Tariq Nasheed in Africa. For those of you who don't know Tariq Nasheed, he's the top man of the foundational Black American movement. It is a movement that's looking to delineate and separate themselves from Africans, and they feel that they are a sovereign group of folks, and that America is in fact their homeland, and they have no ties whatsoever to Africa. I pray that you guys hear me right. They have no ties, absolutely no ties to Africa. But yet, the top guy, the top man in charge is in fact in Africa. So I don't know, family. I don't know how these things work. You know, I ran across a short clip. He's eating some wali, some rice. It looked like he has some mchicha, some spinach, and some other things on his plate. So it looks like Tariq Nasheed is having a good time. When I was in Senegal, we had the pleasure of going to the Renaissance monument. You might have saw it online, where you have the statue of the black man hugging the black woman, and they both are holding up the black child. It's one of the most colossal monuments in Africa, and in fact the world. This thing is so big. When you get to the very top, you can look over the entire, not the entire country of Senegal, but I would say Dakar, the main city, you are able to see across. So I saw a picture also of Tariq Nasheed on the steps of the Renaissance monument. And for me, I'm not mad at him. You know, to be a leader of his magnitude, you got to have a level of sense, family. You know, and he could still believe what he believed, but in his core, in his inward parts, he knows that we, in fact, have a connection to Africa. I don't care what he says. His action is speaking louder than what he says. If you have no affiliation, have no interest in going to Africa, why would you go? Listen, the man is in Africa, family, having a beautiful time. So I'm going to wait for some of you guys to come in to weigh in on the conversation. Me personally, I just want to come and listen to you guys. I want to know what you all think. Why, in fact, is Tariq Nasheed, of all people, in Senegal. And out of all countries, wasn't I Show Speed just in Senegal the other day? This is interesting, family. This is very interesting. Tariq Nasheed. And okay, Mondays are extremely light. Ain't nobody out here in these YouTube streets. Or they might be over there in whatever country I Show Speed is at. Jotting on. I'm proud of I Show Speed, his movements. You know, it seems like each country that the young brother goes to, he is learning as he goes. And he's learning some hard lessons that he's not going to be received everywhere he goes. Just up the other day in Morocco and Algeria, very, very negative experiences that the brother had. Throwing bananas at the young brother, doing monkey gestures. Yeah. People are crazy, man. That's you on there? Jotting on.
I'll make sure he's open the phone right now.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. Yeah, America continues to spiral. And it don't seem like America is spiraling in the right direction. You had over I think it's three shootings in Minnesota. Three shootings by ICE agents looking to arrest people and deport people out of the country. And it's interesting why only in that state. You know, back to back to back, scenario after scenario, like why Minnesota? Those are the type of things that come out years down the road. It's just interesting right now. Tariq Nasheed, that's what we're talking about, family. Tariq Nasheed, head of the FBA movement, the foundational Black Americans that's delineating themselves, that's separating themselves from any other group that claims that they, in fact, are not descendants of Africans. The top man, Tariq Nasheed, is in fact in Africa right now, in Senegal, moving around, eating good food, and enjoying himself. I just had a question for the family today, like, what do you guys think? Why is the brother in Africa? And it seems like he's trailing I Show Speed. I Show Speed was just in Senegal. Of all countries, why is Tariq Nasheed in Senegal? Inquiry minds want to know. We just want to know. I wonder how the family is making out in America with that major snowstorm moving across the country. I wonder how that's playing out for people. I've been seeing clips of grocery stores being emptied out, Atlanta, DC, lines down the street. And it's like DC is known to get winter storms. Like nobody stocks up and, that's wild. Usually any storm from like, even if it drop a foot of snow, maybe you dig yourself out the next day, you drive around gingerly, but that third day it's business as usual. All the roads have been cleared out, salted, and even schools, kids back in school. Like I don't know what's going on. And a lot of people is saying that the snow that's dropping in America is really strange. People been doing experiments with the snow, and they are finding out that it's like chemicals all in the snow. You got some people setting the snow, they do a snowball and light it on fire. Like, how does that happen? How do you put a flame to snow and it catches on fire, or the snow turns black? Peace up, Don P. Peace up, brother. We are in very strange times, family. Very strange times. So the topic today, Don P, is Tariq Nasheed. He's in Senegal, the top FBA man. I know you're going to drop some wisdom, Don P. Why is this man? Why is this brother? The legend, the honorable Tariq Nasheed, top FBA man. Why, in fact, is he in Africa? Why is he in Senegal? Jimmy Dore Show. Okay. Is the Jimmy Dore Show on YouTube? Bushman, we just speaking live on YouTube about the winter storm. And you just called in the thick of the winter storm. John, no. But I'm gonna call you back, Bushman. All right. Okay, cool. Cool. Definitely check it out. That was my good brother Bushman. He's in Washington, D.C. It seems like he's driving around now, but I think it's like 20-something degrees, so it's blistering cold in D.C. right now. Don P, what's your thoughts on Tariq Nasheed? I mean, I thought he had nothing to do with Africa, Why is Tariq Nasheed? What interest do he have in Senegal? What's going on? Okay, COINTELPRO move in what regard? So they have to be countering something right after I Show Speed came here too. Okay. But wouldn't Tariq's movement over there place more eyes on Africa? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Especially those that's following Tariq Nasheed and those that are involved in FBA heavy. Wouldn't it spark more dialogue? So I would say in that respect, like, but desperation dictates that they must do something. Yeah, I understand where you're going with that. Peace up for those who are entering into the live. Today we are talking about Tariq Nasheed and why, in fact, the top man of the foundational Black American movement, FBA, that have no interest in Africa, why is he in Africa right now? Why is he in Senegal? That's what we're discussing today. Just wanted to come on for a bit and chop it up with the tribe. Yeah, Don P. Let me put it in the. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. Peace up to the family. Where are you guys tuning in from? Are you guys in America, UK, or right here in Kenya? Or in any other African country? We do have a small, modest channel right now. So, you know, people tend to trickle in here and there. But we will stick to our guns and build out and expand the platform. YouTube is one of the most interesting platforms to crack. I'll tell you why. We did a video on Dr. Sebi, Yaki, Chef Aki, and other plant food enthusiasts that's, you know, helping black folks get healthy. And YouTube gave me a strike, and they gave me a warning. You know, I wasn't up here saying that this is going to cure this and that's going to cure that. I simply was sharing how great being a vegetarian is, how great being a vegan is, being plant-based. And that's it. Real simple conversation. And they took the video down. So YouTube, you know, you got to stay in a certain lane. So figuring that out, being consistent. Okay, cool, Don P. Give me 1 second, brother. trying to for some reason it's not showing you in the backstage down P. I don't know why. My scenes, active, my scene, blah, blah, blah. New layout. Don P, try going out and coming right back in. Cause I don't see you backstage at all. Let me put the link back in there. Try logging on to the link I just put back in there. Yo, I don't know what happened.
So the screen got on YouTube.
Hold on. It's Command V, right?
Control.
Oh, shit.
Well, is there a control
Yeah, but that's not doing it.
Did it base it in there?
It's Command V.
Oh, okay.
Don P, I just put a new link in there. Try that one. Don P, greetings, my brother. How are you today, man?
Greetings, brother Samal. Doing well. I'm always happy to.
Yeah, this YouTube be acting funny sometime, man. I don't know. I put the link in and you can't even access it. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm glad you was able to get on though.
No problem. I'm here now. I hope you can hear me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. There's a bit
Okay,
of
cool.
static in the audio, but very good.
Yo, this thing choppy. Don P, you there?
I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. I hope you can
Brother,
hear me.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. What you think about this? Tariq Nasheed movements in Africa.
It's interesting. It's so interesting that this is your topic, because they say that coincidence is the language of the ancestors, and this is something I was just thinking about today, just before work, because it came up on my YouTube feed. And the first thing immediately that I thought of was the timing of it was not coincidental, because just as I Show Speed was wrapping up his Africa tour, Tariq Nasheed then comes to the motherland. So for me, immediately I just thought about the whole co-intellectual way of doing things in the 60s and 70s, having one infiltrator come into a movement to destabilize it. So it might not make a lot of intellectual sense as to, opening up the eyes of other FBAs, but I think it's just the desperation of the timing to try and quell this surge in interest in Africa. So maybe he's there to try and bring the FBA perspective on things and try and kind of, put their gloss on it.
Got you, my brother. Got you. I don't know what for whatever reason. Like when you talk on my end, it's a bit muffled.
When you hit the Bluetooth icon there,
Yeah, mine too.
Give me one second, Doc.
select it.
I did.
And then say connected. Now it's connected.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. Don P, say something.
Jumbo, greetings.
I don't have no other tabs open.
But it's not that, it's your speaker on there. Not the speaker.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Let me try. So I'm gonna let you speak, Don P, and I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm gonna see if that works.
Yeah, I was just gonna suggest maybe if you muted your mic, it might help. But I don't know. Is that better? No.
I mean, I can hear you. It's just a little choppy.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear I'm hearing you perfectly, but when I speak, I can hear there's an echo. There's feedback.
When I speak, there's an echo.
No, when I speak, but I hear you perfectly. And if it's okay enough to continue a conversation, I'm good. But maybe you can try and refresh, but I'm happy either way.
Man. Okay, cool, brother, cool. What and it's just funny, man. Out of all countries, he visits Senegal right after I Show Speed moved through there. Like how
Exactly.
the timing of that's interesting.
Exactly. And it's something I was pondering just this morning. Why? Just before I started work, I was like, the timing of it, and especially, I don't know if you watched any, like his first live stream after he went to Africa. He kind of started backsliding a bit by saying that his problem is not with the Africans in Africa, but his problem is with the Africans who come over to America. So his pivot started pretty soon after I Show Speed was in Africa.
So there's a brother in the chat. He said Tariq is an FBI agent. He said Tariq is a clown. People don't like this guy, man. I heard they asked him to leave. Wow. I mean, when he came out with the documentary Hidden Colors, I think that was a nice body of work. But then he started to. I don't understand the argument to this day. Like, how can you be melanated and it's like not claim any ties whatsoever to the continent? For me, that's self-hatred, man, at the highest level. At the highest level, man. I don't care if you was born in America, if you got roots in America, that does not mean that you don't have ties to Africa. Malcolm X said, man, just because a kitten was born in the oven don't make him biscuits, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And it's a shame because I've watched many a documentary with Tariq Nasheed. It tends to be a lot of the time with James Small, and he's given me a lot of information that I've actually learned from. And so I don't know whether that money is involved or anything like that. It usually is in these kind of instances. But it depends.
You know what I'm gonna do, Don P? I'm gonna jump on. Give me 1 second. You can continue to talk, Don P. I'm gonna just switch the device out, but go ahead and keep talking, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no, I just found it interesting. It's disheartening for me that somebody that he taught me a lot, especially in relation to African American history, slavery. He knows a lot about the Haitian Revolution. I learned a lot from him about the Haitian Revolution, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and people like that. So, whenever he pivoted to the FBA, and whether that was linked with money, it usually is, I'm not sure. But I sympathize with a lot of the sentiments of the people in the chat calling him a FBI agent.
Don P, you there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Man, this is way, way, way better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Yeah, the static is gone now.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so what was you saying?
No, I was just saying that it's very it's unfortunate because I learned a lot from Tariq Nasheed over the years. In many a documentary, I can't claim to have read any of his books, but I've watched a lot of his material, and usually he appeared alongside Dr. James Small a lot. So he taught me a lot, for instance, about the Haitian Revolution, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, people like that. And I don't know if this pivot has anything to do with money. It usually does, from becoming FBA. But his timing for the trip to Senegal is not coincidental, especially just coming after I Show Speed. Obviously trying to counter some narratives. What I suspect might happen, I hope might happen, is that his eyes are genuinely, I know he's been to Africa before, and he states that he has a very close relationship with South Africans. Now, I find that interesting. He has a very close relationship with the one nation that still has a very, well, not the one nation, but has still, a very large white population. And he says he gets along with South Africans better than all other Africans. So that just tells you something in that. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that he had to go down that route. And these kind of people are usually the kind of people that COINTELPRO and the FBI, the CIA, whatever you want to call them, those are the kind of people that they target, that bring kind of division to the city.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, man, because somebody with his type of influence, they could do so much more with that, than to allow yourself to become a puppet for a system that just hates you.
Precisely.
Yeah, Don P, man, it was a little choppy today, man. I apologize for that. The next live will be.
No apology needed.
The next live will be much sharper. So what else you heard just to deal with this weather situation in the Americas? You were saying that a lot of folks are saying that it was an engineered or is an engineered storm.
Yeah, I mean, the link that I posted in the chat from that Jimmy Dore show. I haven't actually watched the full video, but you were talking about manufactured weather, and this is actually nothing new, because the United States government have had a government program called HARP for years, actually decades, which deals with like weather systems and things of that nature. And when you have an administration that is hell bent, and not just an administration, a system of government that is hell bent on control and controlling everything, which is really just a byproduct of a capitalist system, then weather being on the table as a tool or a means of controlling a populace is nothing new. So HARP has been around, I think, since 1947, since around the time of like what was that place called, the Rosewood or Rose, the Area 51 thing. They've been trying to control weather patterns in terms of the US government for decades. And a lot of these, not even just the storms, I mean, even the firestorms that you get during the summer months in Los Angeles and in California, the bushfires. There's been a lot of talk about that over the years being very unnatural and just appearing sporadically. So I'm always of the mindset that you never dismiss anything just because it's outside of your kind of purview of what you think is possible, because these people I believe they have technologies that are many years in advance of where we currently are now. So I wouldn't put it past them that this snowstorm that they're warning people about is manufactured. I wouldn't put it past them at all.
Yeah, I hear you. There was a lot of talk surrounding those California fires, and along with the fires that was in Hawaii. And come to find out, they had plans the whole time to reconstruct these areas. And it's an ironic situation because right here in Kenya, right, people burn fire here all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? It's not an issue nowhere. No forests are being burnt down, but yet a young kid might drop a match and it causes like hundreds and thousands of acres to burn down. That don't make sense.
Precisely. And even what you said in terms of the reasons as to why they would do that for property reclamation, this is something that has been done even in Africa, even here in Kenya. There's been allegations, let's put it that way, of like big markets, that are usually like built like shanty towns. Like we have a market called Gikomba Market, which you probably have heard of in the CBD, and Toy Market, which is closer to the CBD, where all of a sudden you get these overnight fires that come and sweep away stalls. And then parts of these stalls are reclaimed by government officials. So it happens. It happens. Yeah.
Got you. So what you're saying, like certain things are done for political reasons?
For political reasons, yeah. For sociological reasons, they have these moves of desperation are usually indicators of a collapsing empire. When you get things like this, and again, we have to stress these are just allegations, but empire becomes very desperate when it's crumbling. So things like this, the final stages of empire, usually the empire is turning on its own people and targeting its own people because they've spread their wings too far, and then they have to completely subjugate the people and kind of remove that veneer or that pretense of, we're American big brother, we're out there to export capitalism and good governance. But the last stages of empire are always the empire turning against its own people and subjugating. So I wouldn't put anything past.
You think what's going on in the American as they continue to spiral out of control and sort of implode, what kind of ripple effect do you see here in Kenya?
I think you're already beginning to see it. You're already beginning to see it now anyway, because of the growing influence of China. The differences between like China and America, they're obvious to see. So like the diminishing influence of US empire is already there, because China is practicing this kind of soft power importation with building of roads and infrastructures, whereas America was much more hardcore in terms of its imperialist diktats. There's a statistic that says that China's only ever had one military base, and I think that's in Djibouti for you know political reasons, geopolitical reasons, whereas America has over 131, which just shows you the way that the empires, these two empires, and make no mistake, the Chinese also want to export their form of imperialism. So I don't think we should be blind to that and think of the Chinese as these saviors coming to save us from the Americas. But you can already
Right.
see the waning influence of American empire dissipating already, you know, just purely from the fact of how even the war that's been going on in the Middle East, maybe we don't want to get too deeply into that, but even the perception of what America says in relation to that war is much different to the perception of how whatever America says must be true in terms of Israel. Whereas right now, the rest of the world, and particularly last year in Kenya and Africa, we see it. Whatever we hear from America now in relation to certain wars and whatever's happening in certain geo-strategic kind of maneuvers like in Venezuela, now we just take it in one year and it goes out the other. Whereas 20 years ago, like specifically right after 9/11, which was very pivotal in how like the world kind of saw American power, it's totally different. Now we listen to what Trump says and nobody takes it seriously. Whereas 30 years ago, whatever America says, like Iran is bad, yeah, Iran must be bad. Or Maduro is bad, yes, Maduro must be bad. So now you can see the whole paradigm shift has changed. Once the mindset of people starts changing in relation to America and an imperialist power like that, it's already signaling the beginning of the end, in my opinion.
So Don P, you don't think people are taking Trump serious now?
Oh yeah, there's always people who take Trump seriously now, but it depends on in relation to what, Brother Samar, like in relation to his threats, or like in relation to him
Yeah,
as a representative of America.
yeah, it seems like what he says, he follows up and he executes exactly what he's talking about. That's how it seems. You know what
Oh,
I mean? So
definitely.
he threatened brother Sankofa, peace up, my good brother, peace up. So
Sankofa,
with this
great
whole
name,
tariff,
great name.
yeah, that's my good brother. And it's a platform that we follow called Sarnetta. I'm pretty sure you know of Sarnetta, Don P. So
No,
when
no,
I
I've never
was
heard of
in,
it.
you never heard of it.
No.
You'll love the platform. It's a lot of debates on there. It's a lot of debates. But when I was in Zanzibar, I ran into this brother Sankofa. He used to be on Sarnetta all the time.
All right. Greetings,
Yeah,
greetings, brother Sankofa.
so I was saying, Don P, man, you know, we know all of these guys that's out front. I feel like they're really not the ones in charge. They're just the people out front. The real people that's running the show, you'll never know. You'll never see them. You'll never hear about them. You know what I mean? So whatever that thing is like the next 10, 20 years, man, I think we're in for a rough ride, man. World over. The world over.
I agree.
And it's go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I agree with you because you know, even I think we're at the precipice. We're at the crossroads historically, and usually when you're at a crossroads historically, particularly when you have kind of like the dying embers of an empire, that change is always there's always going to be a lot of turmoil and upheaval. And I think the economic collapse is going to precede any kind of political turmoil because people forget I think America at the moment is in an economic bubble that was created from the '08 housing collapse, with the subprime mortgages and everything. And all that kind of the economic policies that they took from them, like quantitative easing and all this kind of stuff, it put the world economy in an artificial bubble that is destined to explode anytime now. So I think once that happens, then I agree with you. We things are going to get worse before they can get better. So it's just up to us to make sure that we're right spiritually, and that we're
Let me ask you this,
swimming in the
Don.
right direction.
Let me ask you this: how does one prepare for such trying times? That's it seems like that's on its way. Like what are some of the things that you're implementing in your own life to prepare, for the worst?
Great question, and that's, I think, ultimately the question that will determine the direction that we go to. Like for me personally, I believe that somebody, in order to affect change, has to work on themselves first before they can see real change outwardly. And now I know that sounds, but that it might sound very wishy-washy to a lot of people, but it's just a fact. And it's from years of personal evolution, and the evolution is still going on. I will never claim to have all the answers. I have more questions than I have answers, and I think that's how the mindset that we should all have. I'm always skeptical of people who think that they have all the answers but have no questions. So I would say to each and every one, honestly, work on yourselves, work on your spiritual growth, your spiritual maturity. And for my African American brothers and sisters specifically, I would say, honestly, come back home. For me, that's something that I'm extremely passionate about. It's a reason why I started following your channel. Not just your channel. I tend to follow pretty much everybody's channel who comes here. Whether they have the same political views as me or not is irrelevant to me, because those are just colonial constructs. Those things we can work on
Correct.
once you have found yourself on the soil. And I know a lot of people say, oh, no, you have to get your mental and your physical right before you come here. I say, no, come here. Because the spiritual awakening that will happen once your feet touch the soil. I know not everybody goes through that whole, oh, as soon as I touched my feet on the soil, my ancestors shook my spinal cord. It doesn't have to be like that. But I think that true change you can affect can happen once you're here. I'm very passionate about that. I want to see all my brothers and sisters back in the motherland, all of them. I don't care what your beliefs are, but once we're here, then we can sort out differences. I know it sounds very utopian, but that's just my beliefs. But really, work on yourself first. The answers will come to you. Once you're ready, the master will show himself. Just make sure that you're a ready student.
That's a fact. That's a fact. When the student is ready, the master will appear.
The master will appear.
And that master, for sure. And I can attest to that, Don P. Like just being here, interacting with folks, and just sitting back, learning and listening. You develop a appreciation, man, just for the pace of life here. Just for my teacher always told me, like, it takes time to live. And that's something that they rob us of in America. Because we always running, you're always paying bills. You don't have time enough to just slow down and to think. And Africa gives that back to you. And not only that, you're in an environment where you turn to your left, you turn to your right, you have people that look like you, move like you, talk like you, and it's just a vibe, man. It's just a vibe. I don't know for anybody else, but when I first touched Africa for the first time, I went to Ghana, and I was 25 years old, and I always had a yearning, for going to Africa, and it's through my upbringing, of course, the Virgin Islands, and my brother's the lead singer of Bamboo Station reggae group. So I always had a desire, and when I first landed in Ghana, man, it was a situation, man. 2 weeks later, I'm leaving out, man. It hit like a ton of bricks. Like I'm in Cape Coast out of the ocean, just looking out of the water, and my time was winding down fast. I'm looking out on the water and I'm imagining what life is, where I'm going back. Man, my spirit did not want to go back at all, Don P. So yeah, like you're right, coming here and connecting back. Just get here. We work things out. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, you gotta get here.
You have to get here, man. And like just like Seattle Sankofa's name says, I mean, you have to really, in order to inform your decisions moving forward, you have to look back. That whole concept of Sankofa, looking back, how your ancestors built the foundations for you to move forward is very important. So, in order for you to really reclaim yourself, really reclaim your identity, your names, you have to you have to go back to where you came from. That is your identity, because we can all intellectualize from afar, from the States, from the Caribbean, from Guyana, wherever you are in the diaspora. Intellectualizing concepts has become something of a pastime, because we all have the platforms to do it. But actually putting those concepts in practice is what will affect true change, And part of putting those concepts in practice is to actually visit the motherland, because that was part of the problem with Tariq Nasheed. He was coming up with a lot of these proclamations, speaking from a place of ignorance. I know he had been to Africa before, but he hadn't been to all of Africa. And so he was speaking from a place of ignorance. And that is a dangerous thing with a person with a huge following like that, because you have a responsibility to the truth. But the truth is in the motherland, the truth is in the soil. Knowledge is in the soil. And even the Kemetic concept of knowledge is very different from the westernized one, because knowledge for the Western quote unquote student is knowing something. Knowledge from the Kemetic perspective is, it's not good enough just to know something, you have to put it into practice, and that is how you truly know something. And if you only can truly know something if you've been there. So come. I tell all my brothers and sisters in the diaspora, come. We're ready. Because even if we're not ready logistically, we never will be. We are ready because the ancestors say we're ready. The rest will work itself out. I honestly believe that. I'm very passionate about this.
For sure, Don P. Don P, we're gonna do a panel on this very topic. Let's say either Wednesday or Thursday. What's your time looking like around this time, like around 6 p.m.?
This time is perfect. Just after 6 p.m. Kenya time is perfect, because my work day is done. I'm at home with the wife and everything is calm. So this is good.
Excellent, excellent. So it's gonna be like probably four to six of us.
No problem.
We're gonna nail this topic down. That'll be powerful.
Awesome.
And Don P is closing in on that, and so, and the missus, she done whipped up some great and good plant-based food, so it's just in the face.
No problem. Greetings to J Cafe. No problem. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I'm humbled. I'm always humbled when you invite me on. Thank you.
Likewise, Don P. I'm glad you're always on.
Thank
Don
you.
P gave you some greetings. She said greetings, Don P. You heard her?
Greetings.
So, family, I want to say appreciate you guys hanging in there with us. You can always catch us online. And we post about every day, if not every day, every other day. We do have an online store. Please give us a look in our description. All of our information is there. And family, for those who are here for the first time, just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. We are growing out this modest channel, and you guys can help us out by giving us a like, share, subscribe. Again, Don P, want to say appreciate you. And until next time, tribe, peace up, and I pray that you guys' families are intact. This is your brother Samal. We out of here. I'm going to tune out right here just to tune back in. Y'all know. Okay, Don P.